Welcome to the RavensSpace on YouTube. My name is Jason, and this is RavensSpace Daily, where we talk about Baltimore Ravens news every single weekday. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. We have 3 great news stories. But before we hop in, I want to say that this episode is brought to you guys by the RavensSpace Patreon. Go check it out. We got great things for you guys there. We'll hop right in to the news of the day. So the first story of the day is about Jeremy Maclin's contract, and some more information came out. So if you guys didn't know, it was a 2-year contract for Jeremy Maclin. Also, the contract is worth $11 million, which is a lot of money. And it really might out Eric Decker from the equation. I wasn't expecting it to be worth $11 million. I was more expecting it to be worth about, 9 around there, even maybe 8. Of course, he's a late release. So, but I was surprised his release. The Ravens got him for $11 million for 2 years. So we'll see. Ian Rappaport announced the actual cost, and he was surprised. He thought it was a hefty investment for Jeremy Maclin, who gets injured a lot. So I'm just not sure, how I feel about it yet. Again, there has been other news that came along with this. So you'll see, how it kind of works into Ozzy's big scheme. But Jeremy Maclin has a contract that's $11 million for 2 years. I don't know the bonuses. I don't know the incentives. I don't know the cap structure yet. That's going to come out later. And when that does come out, I'll let you guys know. So I can tell you guys how I feel about it. But for now, just know that he's going to be a very high paid player. I believe he's the highest paid player at the receiver position right now for the Ravens. That being said, I think he's going to be a #1 receiver. And I think that Perriman's going to be #2. And then Mike Watts will be in the slot. If we get Eric Decker, I don't know how it's going to play out. But again, that's a long shot right now. We know a little bit of contract information. When more comes out, I'll let you guys know. And let me know, do you think $11 million is too much for Jeremy Maclin? I would love to hear you guys' opinions about the matter. The next story of the day is about a pay cut for another tight end. Ben Watson took another pay cut for a reason I don't really understand. It's kind of perplexing to me. I'll read you guys I'll read you guys the actual facts. So according to Pro Football Talk, Watson recently reduced his salary by $1.75 million. So this year he's set to make $1.25 million, and he can make the rest back with incentives. So for a tight end like Benjamin Watson, that's a little bit of money. He's put in his time. He is a good tight end when he was younger. So to make $1.25 million is a tough break for him. But I think what happened was Ozzy said, hey, either you have to take a pay cut or we're going to release you. And he said he'll take a pay cut. If I was him, I don't know if I would have took the pay cut, because I do believe you still get money even when they release you. So, but again, I don't know how his contract looks and different things like that. But what this is telling me is that the Ravens really do think that Ben Watson can compete. He's back at practice today. So they think that he can compete for one of the 3 slots that I think is going to be available. And it's still 5 tight ends, so 2 still have to get cut. And you have Crockett Gilmore, you have Ben Watson, Darren Waller, Nick Boyle, and Max Williams. So I only think 3 is going to make it. So which 3 is the hard part? I don't know exactly yet. But again, Ben Watson took a cut. This could help us get Eric Decker. We don't know yet. I don't think that's enough money to get to where we need to be, but he took a pay cut. So, I think he's going to give it everything he has. If he has to play for free in order to play in the NFL, he would. I really think that, because 1.25 for him is very, very cheap. And the last story of the day is about Joe Flacco and how he's intrigued with the possibility of adding Eric Decker to the team. So in the interviews today, Joe Flacco was asked about Eric Decker, and he said that he's super interested in adding Eric Decker to the team one day after adding Jeremy Maclin. I'll read you guys the quote. It says, Eric would be a great guy too, especially losing Dennis and getting a guy who can go inside. He's been a great receiver and he's played with some big quarterbacks. I'm sure he's been coached up. Listen, I've seen what he can do. Anytime you add players like that, it's going to be good for your team. So, Eric Decker is 30. He still has a chance to make impact plays in the NFL. Joe Flacco seems to like him. So I'm super, 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 super intrigued where Ozzy's going to go. At 30, I think Eric Decker can get a 3-year deal, a 2-year deal. I don't know if the Ravens want to invest that long-term money into him, but we'll see, because they only gave Jeremy Maclin a 2-year deal. So if they can give, Decker a 1-year deal or a 2-year deal, I think they would, and we'll see how it all shakes out. But I'm excited that it feels like the Ravens offense is not going to let me down, and they're going to actually get players who can play in this league to be a part of our roster. So I'm super, super duper excited about that. And then, like we always do at the end of every episode, we have a mailbag question. And the mailbag question comes from Justin. And Justin asks, could the Ravens draft the tight end in the first round of the 2018 draft if no one steps up to take the starting tight end role? Justin, thank you so much. And I think the answer is yes. There are more pressing issues than a tight end. I do believe that, when you have a good tight end, it can help you out a lot. But, having a average tight end, doesn't really hurt you like having an average quarterback hurts you or having an average offensive line hurts you. I think that what the Ravens are going to do is I think they're going to test these young cats out, see what they have. I think that because they're so young, you can give them another year to develop. But if we end up like we did last year and there's a tight end on the draft board that's very talented, I think the Ravens will take him. I think the Ravens will take him very quickly. But if there's an offensive line prospect there that's better, or if there's a pass rusher that's like one of our premier pass rushers in college football, I think they decided if they should take him or not. But I truly do think that the Ravens do need a tight end if they want to, be that team that they try to be every year, where, they depend on Dennis Pitta to make, 60 catches a year and, even more this year. So, but we'll see. Justin, I think it's a good question. I think the answer is yes to the question. But if there's other pressing needs, I think the Ravens will take the pressing needs over getting a new tight end. And that's the episode for today. A little shorter than usual. Thank you guys so much. I truly appreciate it. Please subscribe to the RavensSpace on YouTube if you're not subscribed. Follow us on our different social media channels, and check out our Patreon page. So thank you guys, and go Ravens.